So I promised that I would show you the technique that I use to create the background on this layout down here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have a stencil and I'm working on some scrap paper, and I'm going to go ahead with these water reactive spray inks, and I'm going to spray all over this. And I'm going to be quite generous with my spray ink because actually what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to create enough pools of color on here that I can use the stencil to print with. So I'm just going to slide this out of the way, and I'm going to slide my watercolor paper in, and I'm going to go ahead and press it down onto the sheet. I have another piece of pattern or plain paper here to protect my fingers. So I'm going to pull that off, and I can probably get one more print, which I'm going to put down. It'll be a little fainter, but I like that variation, don't you? So when I pull it up, you can see I have these prints, and that one's very faint, and I want the color to run down. So I'm going to take a spray bottle of water and tilt this up, and then I'm going to spray along the top edge, and can you see how I'm going to get those drip marks? Now here's a fun way to get extra color variation because maybe you don't have the right color spray inks. I can take a jar of water with a large paintbrush, go into some watercolors. Maybe I want to add some purple, and right along this top edge, I can just tap in some of that purple color. And I can go into maybe a lighter blue and add in a little bit more. And then if I want to encourage all of that to flow down the page, I'm going to go ahead and squirt again with my bottle, and that's going to get that to all run down. Now, you can get quite fancy going in with lots of detail, adding lots of colors, playing around. Just remember, it's important to be working on watercolor paper because your regular cardstock is just not going to stand up to this kind of abuse. So let's look at that finished layout one more time. And I want to point out something that I did that I think really helps. This is a very busy background, but you can see here that I took some deli paper. You could also use vellum. It's a translucent paper, and by placing my photos on top of that, it really keeps it away from the background and creates a nice clean mat. The other thing is you'll notice that I actually typed my journaling in a typewriter right on there, and that title is hand painted. And this is also a nice low risk way to paint a title because you do it on a separate piece of paper, and if it doesn't turn out well, there's not a problem.